Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy.
What's up, good people? Let me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing either breaking news or stay ready. Breaking news or stay ready to let me know that you can hear me because this is breaking news. And because I wasn't staying ready, I was not prepared for what I told you guys about earlier this week, which was, I think that was on Monday, where I said in the daytime live that Carlee Russell was having her plea hearing today. Why I forget all about it? I never wrote it down or anything, and so I took a little nap, took a little power nap so I could get up and work on tonight's Exposing Darius Crooks show. And I wake up, and as I'm starting to prepare, the first thing that pops up is all the stuff about Carlee Russell. I'm like, how the hell did I forget? So I had to regroup. We are now working. I had to work on this story, which means the Darius Crooks stuff for this evening is not quite the show that I was planning on doing. But with that, it's so much shenanigans with her. I can wing that. So we're still good. We're still gonna do that show. We're just pushing it back about an hour. So once we're done with this, then I'm gonna use what other time I have, put that show together, and then we're gonna come back live. So back-to-back lives today. Thank you to everyone who's letting me know that you can hear me by typing either stay ready or breaking news. We got Shadonda, and I know I messed that up. Jackson, Tabasco, and Precious, and Sabrina, and Elizabeth, and Black QT, and D Baby, Marlena, Andrea, Demetria, Lisa A, and everyone else who's letting me know that you can hear me on Facebook and YouTube. And also what's up to everyone viewing on them Instagram, in those Instagram streets. Also, please hit that like button, that heart button, that follow button, and share this video on whatever platform you are viewing on. Thank you to the 48 of you who voted over here on YouTube. And out of that, 88% of you have said you've hit that like button. Can everyone else please hit that like button and share this video as soon as possible? It is free to you, but it is invaluable to me and the growth of this channel. Thank you in advance. All right, we got to move on because we got another show to do after this that I ain't even ready for. Poll question coming out to you. First one of the day. If you're on the other platforms, the poll questions only go out on YouTube, but feel free to answer them in the chat on whatever platform you're viewing on other than YouTube. Poll question is, have you seen the plea hearing from Carlee Russell today? She was doing court today. We know that originally there was supposed to be a trial set for that was going to start on Monday. Next thing you know, we hear, I think it was last Friday or something, Thursday or Friday, it came out that they pushed it back and it became a plea hearing instead. And that is what happened this late afternoon. So that is Carlee Russell today walking into the Jefferson County courthouse with her team. She still has that same stoic look. I'm noticing, like every time that every time they've caught her, she really gives no expression. And it always kind of seems like she's chewing on bubblegum, but I don't think she necessarily is. So that's her reporting in to the courtroom. And then we have actual footage of the hearing. It was very short. If any of you have been to traffic court, some of y'all have been for other court appearances. That ain't my business. That ain't our business. But y'all know that sometimes it's very quick. You spend more time going through the rigmarole and all of that than the actual hearing. So it is a very short hearing. I think it was less than 10 minutes. So we're going to watch that. And I'm going to play that now. Right? Let me make sure. Oh, I'm sorry. For those of you who don't know, so I'd be forgetting. Sometimes people aren't familiar with these stories. Got to always keep in mind. We're talking to the large amount of people. So Carlee Russell was the young lady who created the rules about her being kidnapped. This was last June or July. She said that she was heading home from work. She saw a baby with diapers and cowboy boots and on the side of the road. She calls 911. She reports it. They ask her she just stay by the child. She does that. She's on the phone with family. She gets out of the car. They hear her family hears a scream. Her phone drops. By the time police and everyone arrives to the scene, her car is sitting there. I think she had a little Mercedes Benz because she's spoiled by her parents. Had a little Benz. Car there, hazard lights flashing. Her phone is there, a wig, a purse, and the Mediterranean food that she had just picked up because she was supposed to be taking it home. She's missing for 48 hours. She miraculously pops up at her parents' door. Ring camera footage from her neighborhood sees her walking calmly down the street, but when she gets in front of her parents' house, she's flailing around and starts running. They immediately call, 911. Ambulance comes. They end up taking her away. She's acting, all discombobulated. They can't get her to answer questions, et cetera, et cetera. When she's finally able to tell the story, she says that there was a baby. When she got out to check on the baby, some red-haired man came out of the bushes, scooped her up, and it was a red-haired man with a bald spot and a lady. They held her captive, I think, in a semi-truck, she said. And then they had her eating Cheez-Its. They kind of examined her like a alien, and then they released her. And that was it. Now, that's all we've heard. And then, later on, everything gets proven to be a lie. We just still don't know what really happened. So here's Carlee Russell appearing in court on today to explain herself, but not really. Here we go.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
You are Carlee Russell?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. This is CC 23-888 and 889. You were charged in each of these cases with making a false police report, which are misdemeanor offenses. I'm showing you a document titled Explanation of Rights. Did you go over this document with your lawyers?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature on the last page?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this document or about your rights?
No, sir.
All right then, and there is no plea agreement here. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
In CC 23-888, as to the misdemeanor offense of making a false police report, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And in CC 23-889, as to the misdemeanor offense of making a false police report, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Fine. Do you have, let's see.
Because this is on YouTube, so if you want to see the whole thing uninterrupted, as you can see, I grabbed it off of YouTube. That's where you can go. This is commentary, so I want to hear those. You stopping it. It's the baby voice for me, though. It's the baby voice for me, but continue.
A little out of order here. I'm showing you Court's Exhibit B. Did you go over this document with your lawyers?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied that your attorneys, Mr. Henry Anthony, Richard Jaffe, and Lucky Milad,
Yes, sir.
are good and competent attorneys and have represented you well?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the plea agreements in these cases?
Yes, sir.
You're pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, sir.
All right. At this time, before we proceed, Well, I find that your plea was made knowingly and voluntarily, and based on your plea, I find you guilty. Before sentencing, first, is there anything that the Attorney General's office would like to add?
Yes, Your Honor, if you don't mind. As the court is aware, I have asked to speak today, and I have a lot to say, but the court has asked me to limit it to 2 minutes, and so I will do that. First of all, this case has always been about respect for law enforcement and respect for this community as a whole. Ms. Russell faked a kidnapping, duped the community, and contrived this situation. We still, Judge, don't know to this day where she was, how she got there, what she was doing, and with whom she was doing it with. Once we figured out that she was supposedly missing, the community got involved. Hundreds of people got involved. They took time away from their families, their work, their fun. Law enforcement got involved, from federal, state to local. And they took time away from their family, their people, their work, other cases that needed to be solved. This has been a case that it was taken advantage of, and it's our contention that Ms. Russell knew this would happen. She had researched it on the computer. She had researched search terms about Amber Alerts and the movie Taken, all of those things. And then, Judge, when she came home, we have ring camera footage of her walking casually down her parents' street, and when she gets in front of her parents' house, she runs up there and starts beating on the door. Police were called. The body cams show that she's flailing around and still perpetuating this ruse that she was kidnapped. The ambulance was called. She goes to the hospital and she finally speaks with law enforcement, and that's when she tells the story about that orange-haired man and woman playing with her hair and eating Cheez-Its. This ruse continues. And it doesn't stop until a couple of days later when her lawyer issues a statement. So I have to say, Judge, that because of this ongoing, complete disrespect for this community as well as law enforcement, it is our contention that she should get some jail time. I understand that it's a misdemeanor. I do. But because of the effect that it has had on law enforcement as well as on the community, we feel even if it's weekends in jail or nights in jail, that some sort of incarceration is warranted in this case. I think I kept it under 2 minutes.
All right, thank you, Ms. Morris. All right, is there anything from the defense attorneys?
No, sir. Judge, what we're going to do is going to let Ms. Russell make a statement.
Okay, Ms. Russell, before being sentenced, you do have a right to make a statement. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, sir. Your Honor, I want to genuinely apologize for my actions and the resulting negative impact inflicted onto others. I made a grave mistake while trying to fight through various emotional issues and stress. I am extremely remorseful for the panic, fear, and various range of negative emotions that were experienced across the nation. I want to specifically acknowledge and take accountability for the pain and embarrassment that I inflicted upon my family, my church family, friends, neighbors, community, and all of those who were directly involved in search efforts for me. I also extend my sincerest apologies to the Hoover Police Department and every other law enforcement agency and personnel for the position that I put them in and for the resources used. I absolutely regret my decision, and in hindsight wish that I had cried for help in a totally different manner. My prayer is that I will be extended grace and given the opportunity to redeem who I truly am and restore the positively esteemed character that I have worked so hard to attain for the 25 years of my life prior to this incident. I wholeheartedly can say that I've never had any malicious intent to hurt anyone. And I pray that you will feel my sincerity and that as I prepare to pick up the pieces and go on to restore my life, that you will witness the fruition of grace.
And we're not going to say anything yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Russell. When you first made this report, you alarmed the community, this community, and you really alarmed the country because the story went nationwide, as you know.
Yes, sir.
And then when it came out that it wasn't true, not only was this community outraged, but the country was outraged. What you did was you wasted a lot of government resources, and you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay every dime of that in restitution in this case. It would be a waste of government resources to have a trial in this case. So you have taken responsibility, and we're not going to do that. It would be a waste of government resources to put you in jail. One of the most expensive things the government does is incarcerate people. And we need to reserve our jails for people who are genuinely a threat to the community. Although we're very upset about what you've done, you're not a threat to the community. I'm not going to treat you any differently than I would treat any other first-time nonviolent misdemeanor offender. Accordingly, it is the judgment and sentence of this court that you're sentenced in each of these cases to 6 months in the county jail. These sentences are consecutive with each other, and these sentences are suspended. You're placed on probation for 12 months. It's supervised probation. It's a condition of your probation that you pay full amount of restitution, which is $17,974.88, paid to the city of Hoover, 100 Municipal Lane, Hoover, Alabama, 35216. Pay that through the clerk's office on the first floor in this building, so we have a record of it. I'm also sentencing you to serve, and this is a condition of your probation, 100 hours of community service. I want to see, when we come back, I want to see that you've made progress, if not have completed that community service. I understand that you're currently getting mental health counseling, is that right?
Yes, sir.
It is a condition at this point of your probation that you continue getting mental health counseling, and I'd like to see some proof that you're getting that counseling when we come back. This case is set for a review hearing. We're going to review the amount of restitution that's been paid, community service, and that date is October 16 at 9 a.m. Anything else for the state or the defense?
Nothing from the defense.
No, you're not.
Lord, good Lord, I'm muted. I was saying, I see a lot of you have a lot to say about it, and I agree with a lot of your thoughts. I was trying to pull whatever images I already had because we did a lot of coverage on this last year, and so I found a few of the memes that we that we used, and this is one of my favorite: Carlee Russell in Tooken, not taken but cooking. Tooken. The poll question we closed out was, do you think that Carlee Russell's apology was sincere? 37% of you say yes, and 63% of you say no. That is, I don't know. I am a softie at heart. Like I've become very hardened from life, but I was falling for it. I kind of was like, oh, she seems remorseful, all of that. But then the more I thought about it, I have some other perspectives on it. But you see, she apologized for the distress she caused, her actions. Right? Policy, a tough crowd. They are though. They are. This is like the Apollo crowd of YouTube. Oh, wait, I thought I was clicking on your comment. Yours way down here somewhere. Here we go. I'm missing a lot of comments. But yeah, so the other poll question I put out, did I close this one out? I had to take pictures because I had to move on from. Oh, the 86% of you have not seen this. So I'm glad I did it because part of me was like, oh, it's all over YouTube. I'm seeing it as soon as I log on. But like I said, I'd be forgetting that. I think because of the amount of time I spend on the social media for work, I see a lot of things you guys maybe don't get to right away. The last poll question I'm closing out for this is, do you agree with the judge's decision? 56% of you say yes. 44% of you say no. I thought it was interesting. The prosecution, obviously, they really wanted her to get some level of jail time because they like, you'd have had us go through all this for naught. We want you to get some kind of, they like, even Even if it's at night or on a weekend, they like, Judge, just give us something. Give her something. But you know, highlighting that her actions, you know, related in resulted rather in Amber Alerts. And the other thing that I always go back to, as soon as they say all the people that got involved, and I know a lot of hundreds of people got involved in a search for her, but I always go back to that one lady who was an activist. I'm forgetting her name, but her daughter was unfortunately unalived years ago. She was kidnapped, and her daughter was kidnapped and unalived, and she's become an advocate for missing girls and women, and she puts on search parties, and she's, you know, has an organization and all of this stuff. And even she got pulled into this and traveled down there, and she had her own health issues, but she traveled down there to be with Carlee's mom and help her, you know, show her the way, give resources and all of that. That woman went through all of that for a ruse. And that's the part that makes you say, like, she really needs to have some kind of repercussions that are longer lasting for this. But as we saw, you know, he said 6 months for each count of prison time, but he suspended both of them, gave her 12 months of probation instead. And then her restitution is only like $17,000, which was interesting to me because of the fact that we know that it cost them way more than $17,000 to put on a search for her. However, her attorney team did have a response, and here's their response to the judgment.
I know you do, but I want to say this. I think it's very important that we understand what transpired, and I want to commend Judge Carpenter for being strong enough to make a decision based upon probation. As I stated to you when we were at the city of Hoover, I've never seen anyone incarcerated for 2 years for a misdemeanor. No matter what, domestic violence, third degree, or whatever, no one has ever been incarcerated. So first of all, we want to thank Judge Carpenter for doing what we think all judges should do with a Class A misdemeanor first offense. Carlee apologized to the community, to Hoover, to the volunteers for her action. I hope that we will accept that and move on and allow her to live her life. I know there's still questions that you all want her to answer, but I think it would be good to give her the opportunity to find herself, if you allow me to use that term. All right?
You wouldn't say where she was at. Can you say why this all transpired?
Well, it was an emotional type situation. She stated that when she made her statement.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that clearly she is in counseling, and that ought to tell you something. And like she said, she just overreacted, and it was an emotional decision. She's just 26 years old. She's in nursing school. She's got 3 semesters left. She's genuine and remorseful, and she's been deeply affected, and she wants to, as she said, redeem herself, and she has apologized to the community, and it's probably going to end up being something that she can build on, and as Mr. Anthony said, make something really powerfully good about her life and teach others.
I think she made a great statement, and I think it was concise, and I think she took responsibilities for her action, availing herself to the court today, and I think, you know, we should all be able to move on.
Hopefully
Move on.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
They want y'all to move on. Move on. Let her go. Let her be. Then we have the footage from the chief of police, the Hoover chief of police, Nick Derzers. He's the one who actually did the press conference we watched last summer as well, where he was saying that they were pressing charges. So let's hear what he feels about this verdict.
I'm very disappointed in the decision not to give any jail time. You know, she gave an apology today, and unfortunately, to me, it's like 7-8 months late. I don't know why we didn't hear that back in July, and it's just unfortunate. There were a lot of people, like the judge commented, not only in our community but across the nation, that were real concerned for those couple of days. The 17,800, whatever their restitution, is not really close to really what the restitution should be. And bottom line, there should be consequences for your actions. It appears to me here the consequences are for the parents, because I would assume that they're the ones that are going to have to pay for this. But the judge has spoken. I do want to thank the legislature. The last press conference I gave, I talked about that this should be a felony. And I think we're headed that direction. So hopefully, if anybody does anything like this again, then they'll be prosecuted in a different manner. But again, we leave here happy that it's over. Disappointed that there will be no jail time whatsoever.
Could you give us a better figure as far as a ballpark amount?
The real figure should probably be in the 40s, at least $40,000 to $50,000 for all the money that we spent.
How do you feel that we still don't know why?
Yeah, I mean, that's the deal. We as the state said, we still don't know where she was during that period of time. Obviously, probably had help. We don't know who the help was. And again, to me, it's a little slap on the wrist. Pay your money and go forward. And I just think, I'm just a little disappointed in all that. I'd have felt better if they didn't want to give any jail time. Let's at least discuss where you were and find out what the circumstances were. I mean, we talk about everybody's got mental illness today, and if she's got issues, please get the help that she needs, and hopefully she'll lead a good life from here on.
When you were listening to her apology, did you feel that in her heart it was sincere?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's apologized, and I think she obviously went through a lot there were a lot of people upset, and I think she and her family heard that after the fact that when she returned home. But again, I'd have felt better about an apology back in July, not in, March, almost April. I would have felt a lot better to hear it earlier.
So the Hoover chief of police is not happy with the decision at all. Another meme that they had out on social media regarding this was Jussie versus Carlee. I shared some of these last year. So that's everybody's perspective on the situation. I'm gonna close out this poll. Do you agree with the Hoover chief of police? 77% of you do, 23% of you do not agree with him. And I'm gonna do another poll question because I'm seeing a lot of y'all kind of saying the same thing. I'm gonna share this one, then I got one after this, and then I'm gonna read some comments and we wrapping it up because I got another show to do. We got to come back in a few minutes, and I don't have the show ready. It's not ready. Next poll question is: do you think that Carlee will ever share the full story of what actually occurred? It's clear that there's mental health things going on, and those are private. That's HIPAA. Like, she doesn't have to share that with us. I know, people feel entitled. It's like, well, you put us through all this and we didn't even know who you were prior to this. But at the end of the day, it's still her own personal health stuff. And I can get her not sharing or them not sharing her mental health situation, whether it's something that's been ongoing or whether it was a mental a breakdown of some sort, because society never forgets. And so she will be marked with whatever they put out there. So I do get why they haven't put anything out there. The truth is the court may know. The judge likely does know whatever. And like he said, I see you're still getting mental health counseling. I want to make sure that continues, etc. So he's going to have that sort of information that we're not privy to. So I think it's clear that there's something more going on with her. Right. Respect him, but Caramel Butterfly. I got to find your comment, though. There we go. Respect HIPAA. Exactly. So everything ain't our business. I get what some people are saying, but just because they haven't gone into specifics of what it is doesn't mean that there isn't truly something that was happening mentally back then and still maybe today. As far as the poll question I'm closing out is, do you think that Carlee will ever share the full story of what actually happened? 93% of you say no. 7% of you say yes. They are saying that, you know, she may use this as her testimony to help others, etc. Like vaguely we're saying that. The last poll question, I see a lot of you guys saying it, and I was thinking the same thing, so I'm putting it out here. Do you think that Carlee will accept a movie deal from this story? So do you think, basically on the streaming platforms or whatever it might be, do you think that she will entertain doing a documentary? Maybe we don't know, like the other side of that could be they ain't saying nothing because they holding it for the exclusive of the contract that's already been signed with the production company for the movie or documentary or whatever that's going to come out. So it's like, don't give them that. Y'all don't say that because you're going to void your contract. We're going to put it all out at one time. Is that what's happening? So it'll be a full, true exclusive. Policy is, does she have mental issues? Clearly she does. What they are, you know, obviously they're invoking HIPAA, right? As far as that. Policy is saying it was a cowboy boots for me. Yes, it was the little baby. I always get a chuckle out of the little baby with the diapers and the cowboy boots. Where the cowboy boots come from? Margin is saying she has 3 attorneys. Yes, people with money hire multiple attorneys. Carlee's parents got a little money. You can even tell from the house, but mom was a realtor. I forgot what the father was, if they ever said, but they have a little bit of money. And it was the smart move because they got her from the original sentencing to basically renegotiate to get to this place. Threaten the trial to spend more money for the city to have to spend more money. And they like, no, let's work something out. And she got this. So that's why you have your multiple attorneys when you can afford it. AR is saying why they all around her looking at her response. I think she's a little delayed. I looked at it as like they're supporting, like they obviously clearly practiced this. They instructed her on what she needs to do, you know, all of that. And so I felt like they were just making sure she was carrying through with what they needed. Thank you, Chanel, or Shanae, or Shania. Thank you so much, friend, for the super sticker. I mean, a super chat. Waste of needed resources. Shame. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And hopefully she's getting the help she needs. She did it for attention, but why? Well, she said it was a cry for help and that she wished she had went about it another way. So obviously, I think the boyfriend was breaking up with her. She was it's rumored that she was failing out of nursing school. Ain't no telling whatever other stuff she had going on in her life, and all of it caused her to have some kind of mental break and feel the need to escape it all. Donna Hammond is saying the attorney or paralegal was such a nice letter. So Donna Hammond doesn't even think that Carlee wrote that letter at all. That should be another poll question. Do y'all think she actually wrote that apology letter? B. Hunt is saying, I want to know, did she get her movie deal? Oh yeah, this is what made me, because I was kind of thinking along the same lines. Out of this, watch that's coming next. We'll see. We will see. It sounds like Crook with all that sniffling. I literally thought of the same thing, and I was like, let me not stop the video from playing to say that. But I literally it's like it was reminding me of Darius Crook's snorting constantly. The judge made sense. The judge made sense that incarceration would have cost the government more unless they were going to charge Carlee as well. Yeah, and I when he put it that way, that made sense to me as well. Like, people are complaining about the amount of money and resources that have gone into it, which is true. But to then incarcerate her would actually add more money for, like he said, a first-time offender who has no record, is not a violent offender, is not a threat to the public in any real way. So yeah, I agree with that. Then remember, they were talking also about supposedly her being pregnant and trying to feeling stuck with that and needing to like travel to, where was she going? Nashville or somewhere else, some other state, adjacent state, so that she could, terminate and all of that. So I don't know how much it, I don't know. There was so many rumors coming out. You don't know what was true, but she could have had stuff on multiple levels that she was dealing with. Thank you so much, Benita Howard, for the super sticker. I really appreciate you for that, friend. And Marlena is saying that her sorority should find her too. Interesting. Would they even kick her out? How does that work? I don't know. Sabrina Lord is saying, I highly doubt she'll do something like this again. Yeah, I really doubt that she would. I mean, she's given me very much so, just through this whole thing, spoiled, the little entitled, sheltered, all those. You can look and, I mean, she's 25 years old, speaking like a 11-year-old. Like, I'm kind of like, let her be. Y'all let her be. That's the way I'm looking at it at this point. Fab and Good Vibes is saying, please help me and my understanding. Was this because her boyfriend broke up with her and moved on to someone else and she didn't want to accept it? Is that why she did that? It's bigger than that. It wasn't just the boyfriend situation, but that could have been a part of it. But it also, again, could have been, it's mental health related, but it wasn't just one situation. So this wasn't just somebody only acting out for a boyfriend or whatever. Do you think that Carlee, poll question, we're closing out because we're about to check on out of here. Do you think that Carlee would accept a movie deal from this story? 88% of you say yes. 12% of you say absolutely not. She wants to maintain her privacy. She wants us to move on. She wants to leave it alone. We'll see. Time will tell. I have no idea. I think it's a possibility. I know how these things work, but I do not know for sure. So we will, however, nevertheless, be following this case of Carlee Russell if there are any more developments in it. So with that, I will see you guys. I have the next live scheduled for 8:15. I'm going to try my best to meet that start time. However, I got to prepare the show. So if I'm running a few minutes late, just know I'm definitely going to be back here and hanging there with me. And I'll put in the chat, like if I'm running a couple minutes behind, I'll just let y'all know in the chat of that upcoming video in the schedule. But go on over there and hit that like button already on it and hit notify me. It's already up and ready for you. And a notification reminder will be going out via the VIP text community. So I will see y'all in a few minutes. So with that, until next time, make sure to take care and be blessed. I'm going to go ahead and send y'all out with a look.
Hey, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jacks. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy.